this dude gotta be like 18, right? And I was like, I don't know, Mario. It just, you give me that. Hold on, is that a spider? Hold on.
We interrupt this episode for a spider broadcast.
Oh my god, hold on. Oh my god, hold on. Stop. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Welcome back, y'all. Another day. Something new. We have 3 people today. New things. Just fun stuff. We're still on Zoom. You guys like to introduce yourselves?
You first.
No, you first.
Okay, so what do I say? Hi guys, my name is Lila Bongse. I'm currently in high school. I'm a senior in high school. And can I say that I live in Texas? I live in Texas. That's all I can say.
Hi, my name's Sydney Robertson, and I just graduated this last May, and I also live in Texas.
Sweet. As you can tell, they're both from Texas. We all met at work. I'm currently in California, in case you guys wanted to ask, which mostly y'all wouldn't. So our topic is going to be about school. What is school doing for seniors in high school? How are they preparing these students, such as Lila and Sydney, for college? So any of y'all like to go first? Like what your experience?
I think Sydney should go first since, she graduated.
Okay. Well, I'm going into college for being an EMT first. And, well, school helped me because it only helped me a little bit, but it helped me in a sense taking a class like my EMT class I'm going to take. For example, I took a phlebotomy and EKG class in high school, and that is really going to help me with the fast pace of learning because I'm learning a year of school in 4 months. So those classes I took really helped me. With the rest of school, it's cool. So really what helped me was taking classes that are going to be the classes I'm going to take in high school. That I took in high school, taking the classes are like the classes I'm taking in college. That really helped me. Going out and picking almost college-like classes in high school really helped me.
Gotcha. So it sounds like that it kind of gave you like a little pathway to continue in college.
Yes. So taking that phlebotomy class, my teacher, he was in the Marines for about 10 or so years, and it was a really fast-paced class. We learned, like I said, probably a year of stuff in about 3 months, and we took a quiz almost every week, a test every week, and then at the end of the semester we had to take a test to see if we passed to get the certification. So that's the same thing in college when you take EMT classes or paramedic classes. It's almost the same thing. So that helped me, taking a class that is like the class I'm going to take in college.
Nice, that's awesome. So you already got that. You were getting that, how would you say it? That real life scenario. You can get that real life or college life, you can say, in high school. Nice. And then you said as an EMT, that's the path you're going through. Was that something that high school helped you out? Was that something you wanted to do when you were little?
I first wanted to be a vet when I was little. And then I realized what you had to do to the animals. And I was like, nah, I'm going to switch to humans. So I switched to people. And then it was mostly my own research. There's no one in my family that is paramedic, firefighter, none of that. It's all on my own. So I did my own research by myself. I would go to my counselors and ask them questions. They didn't really know, but they helped me enough. And so I want to be a paramedic. You have to do EMT first and then going on. But I did talk to some of my teachers, my anatomy class, and my midterm class I took my junior year, and those teachers are really helpful. They helped me kind of tell me what I should do and shouldn't do, and so did my senior year teacher too.
Gotcha. That's awesome. You're giving a lot of help. It sounds like. Senior year. Lila, do you want to go?
Okay, so you said you take medical terminology, right? In junior year?
Yeah, I actually took 3 science classes my junior year because I was kind of behind. I took Principles of Health Science, which is like a big beginner class to get into any higher
Yeah.
classes at the like career center school we have. So then I took Principal of Health Science, midterm, and anatomy all in the same year.
Dude, I took Principle of Health Science sophomore year. Junior year, junior year I took it Principle of Health Science, and then this year I'm taking medical terminology. That's crazy.
Yeah, I took
But
it all in the same year because I was behind. So I had
yeah,
to
I
get
didn't know what happened. Go ahead.
my mom had to go to the school, like email them and tell them like it's okay for me to take all 3 because you're not supposed to take all 3 at the same year. It's gonna be like too much for you. So my mom had to like sign off saying that, oh no, she'll be fine. She can do this.
That's crazy. I didn't know. So for our school, we had to do Principle of Health and then medical terminology, and then go to the center and do other stuff. I didn't know that. If I knew that, I would probably take a freshman and sophomore year, and then junior year and senior year, I'd probably go to the medical side of whatever. But that's crazy.
Yeah, that's one of the things they don't really tell you, the counselors. You have to kind of ask them for that. Online, there is like a diagram that tells you what classes to take if you want to take a certain one. But the counselors don't tell you that at first, or your teachers. You're like, oh, I want to be a vet. And then, okay, we'll take this class. But they don't tell you that you can take 3 classes before that. Sometimes you have to do that like you're on your own, like I did with my mom. I was lucky my parents are very helpful. But some other friends, they didn't even take the right classes.
That's crazy. But for me, is high school gonna help me in the future? I highly doubt it, to be honest, dude. Like I really, really highly doubt it. Like I just wanna go out there. So I'm gonna go to the military whenever I graduate. But I'm either gonna get a scholarship, full ride scholarship to go to college and do ROTC there and be an officer whenever I graduate college, or I'm just gonna enlist. So either or. I don't think school's gonna help me that much. Even if it does help me, you still have to do your basics in college, which is like the simple stuff that we take in high school. And since we already know it, we're just okay, sorry, I'm bad at talking. So if I know it from high school, I'll be okay during college. Maybe that'll help me in the future. But if I don't know in high school, I'm either or gonna learn it in college. But in the military, I sort of kind of don't need math, and like, I mean, maybe my field will need math, but in my term, we will not need math. And I want to be in the medical field, so we don't need math. We just need science, So crazy.
It's true, especially with a lot of sorry to cut you off. Especially with a lot of classes at community college, that's the route I went with. We have to take art. We have to take an art class. We need to take communications. None of that's really going to help, like with you guys in the medical field, and then with me as teaching. Maybe it'll encourage you to appreciate art more, but
yeah, I can see that. It's crazy. I don't think that we need it, but maybe one day that it comes out of like curiosity or something happens, like, oh, didn't you take Spanish? Because did you have to take 2 languages? Yeah, is that gonna help? Is that gonna help? I mean, for you, Mario, I know that you had to do sign language. That helps you for sure, and I know dang well because I'd be like, "What you say, Mario?" And then you'd be doing it in sign language. I remember that. And then I'll be like, I don't know nothing in Spanish. That don't help me at all, and I don't think it's gonna help me at all either. So
yeah, I took Spanish.
I don't know.
That did not help me. Like,
I didn't. That's one thing.
Who are like native like speakers who like they spoke Spanish since they were like a baby. Even they didn't know because they're teaching us like the verbs, not like talking to someone. So even people who've been speaking Spanish their whole life, they were like, I don't know what you're saying.
Or like tech theater. Like I had to tech theater. I don't think tech theater like what we did in tech theater were like building costumes and building like stage set things, like putting woods and painting. Like before that class, I already knew how to paint and put woods together and measure. But maybe some people don't know that, but I don't know. So I think that's one of the terms. Yeah.
Interesting. You can say that schools do spark a lot of curiosity if the students are either motivated or they ask a simple question like, oh, what does this do? And then you go down, I guess you can say, a rabbit hole and find something out of it.
Yeah. It's also crazy because our generation, I don't know. Okay, I don't think y'all know this, but like freshmen this year, they are not smart. Like, I kid you not. Like, I be first day of school, I'd be like, "Who are you?" And they'd be like, "Y'all like 4 feet tall too." It's like every year they're getting shorter and skinnier, and I'll be like, "Oh my gosh." I don't know. I'm scared for the future generation. I look at them.
It's funny that you mentioned that you being the youngest. Yeah, I think you're the youngest. Yeah, being a senior, and then that's exactly what our I guess I'm borderline Gen X, millennial. No, I'm sorry, I'm millennial, not Gen X. But like that's the same thing they'll say about y'all's generation. The new, I forgot what generation y'all are in. Generation Z.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
You're like some one of the generations though. That's what millennials would say about you guys. That not that you guys were dumb though. You guys would always be doing multiple things at once. I'm pretty sure like you guys would multitask quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's just become second nature.
Yeah, I stopped.
It's crazy. I think
I stopped multitasking since I guess I was in middle school and I stopped doing multiple things. I was like, this is stressing me out. I gotta stop. I did like basketball, choir, and stuff like that. I mean, I still did those things, but I did less in those things. I did less than what. So, yeah, I think a little differently than people my age. I think because I hang out a lot with my parents and their friends. I always have, and so they're always so surprised that I think so ahead. When I talk to them, they're like, "You know what you're doing." I'm like, "Well, not really, but thank you." But they're always so like, "Oh, I have all these steps in my head that I need to do." And then I go to my friends, and they're like, "I don't know." So that's kind of where I think I'm different than people my age. Because I already have all this whole list, and my friends are like, "I don't know. I'm just here." So,
just breathing.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't know. I just like, in my head, I think the generation that is like really good is my generation, which is 2004, 2005, 6, 7 are like now. Like, I mean, there's some kids out there that are really like smart, but I don't know. Crazy.
It's interesting seeing like being one of the youngest, being young, like being a freshman. I'm pretty sure like you've seen like certain things these new freshmen do, and you've seen some of the some things. Let me try that again. Some of the things you saw as a freshman, I'm like, oh, I remember doing that, and the outcomes are totally different. I'm not too sure if that's. It's wild.
I think back to my freshman year, and I'm like, oh, I was a mess. Like, yeah, like I also, I know a couple of people who were big mess. Like they weren't paying attention to any of their grades. They would always skip. I'm a good kid, so I was always to school, but in my mind, I was a mess. But I know people who didn't pay attention, and then it caught up to them like their sophomore or junior year. They're like, oh, I probably should have paid attention to that class in my freshman year. So, but yeah, I look back to my freshman year and I'm like, oh yeah, no, that was not it.
Me too, girl. Yeah, let's all talk about freshman year real quick.
You want to go first?
Okay, I'll do it first. Okay, so like, no wait, I'm gonna start. Okay, well, freshman year, I was like, I was so fed up on this one boy, and we dated for like a really like most of freshman year. So I would my attention was always on him. My grades, I had like 2 AP classes, which I sucked in. Like I took AP classes and then once I wasn't good in. Like I was really good in math. Algebra was, perfectly fine. Science I was horrible in, and I was in AP. So like my mind was just off. I don't know. I was all over the place. And I also had what was it? So I was diagnosed as dyslexic whenever I was in 8th grade. But usually it's supposed to be caught on at like when you're in elementary, right? And you're supposed to like sort of kind of work on it while you're growing, or when you know what I'm talking about. So since I was like in 8th grade going to 9th grade, and I was diagnosed as dyslexic, I had to take that class. And so I was like, I felt so uncomfortable. It was crazy. And then I moved to a different school. And since I had no friends, no boyfriend because we broke up because we were going to different schools, and I didn't have that dyslexic class, so no friends, boyfriend, dyslexic class, anything. So I had time to focus on myself and my grades, which meant straight up crazy.
Well, I don't know. My grades always been pretty good. I always had my lowest grade I've ever had. I think in freshman year was like 90 or like 85, 89. Those were always my lowest grades. The only thing that was like messy about my freshman year was I was I was trying to figure out myself a lot. Like, so my sexuality, I already knew my sexuality, but really like coming out to myself, that took a lot. And like I was like falling out. Same thing with the boy thing, but it was a girl, and
Oh,
I think what was happening was I was just trying to figure out myself. So that was the hard. And then I look back to it and I'm like, ooh, that's really cringy, but it's what I needed.
mm-hmm.
You know, so that was the only thing. But other than that, my school was fine. School was pretty easy for me for the most part. That was the only thing bad about my freshman year was the whole girl thing.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with both of y'all about, well, I feel like you also mentioned part of a little bit about that, Lila, that we need to find ourselves. And going from 8th grade to being a freshman, there's a lot more, you gain a lot more independence, just becoming a year older. Myself, I unfortunately didn't really find myself and trying to figure out, like, question everything until sophomore, junior year. Though as a freshman, I was still a rule follower. My mindset was my mind was at the age of probably a sophomore, junior, though mentality, I was still an 8th grader. So I was still listening to everyone. I wouldn't really be, what's it called? I wouldn't advocate for myself. So that was a big issue. So I was never bullied, but I was always like encouraged to do certain things. So with grade wise, that was actually my best year. So if you look at my high school record, I was at I think a 3.5, and then literally every semester just lowered. And I was at a 2.0, I think, end of sophomore year. So I'm like, okay, let's rise that up again.
Yeah. Crazy.
I think y'all well, kind of going back with that, finding your identity. How would you say schools or your outside influence helped you out, or what made it difficult to finding yourselves?
Huh?
You can go.
Oh, finding myself. Let's see. Well, I mean, I've always found myself, but I've been single, so I was dating someone most of my sophomore and freshman year, different guys. So I was able to balance myself and the guy and still be happy in my family. I was a good balancer. I'm not freshman year. So since I didn't have that good balance freshman year because I was always caught up in him and great and not in like slacking grades and everything, I learned that, and then I did that sophomore year. Sophomore year, I was like, I can balance my grades, school, my family, and myself. So that sort of kind of helped me there. And then we broke up. And so junior year, I'm just like lonely, whatever. Senior year, same thing. So I've been single for like 2.5 years. But it made me focus on my future. So this might be like so off topic, but I was like talk like so fast. But so it helped me realize that I need to focus on junior RTC in high school, and like do more, like, whenever you're in a breakup, you have to like distract yourself. You can't be by yourself because if you be by yourself, you think so much, and then you're gonna cry and everything. So like I was like, I need to do more things. We had work my sophomore year and junior year, senior year. I had work, and I worked on the weekends. I had practices Monday through Friday, and that was for an hour every day after school. And so I was really busy, and that helped me realize that I don't need a boy and that I need to focus on myself. And I did that, and I'm cool, but I want to be a boyfriend now. So yeah, next.
I too have been single for about 2.5 years. No, maybe three now. But Yeah, my freshman year was kind of a mess, like I said before. It was just finding myself, coming out to myself. That was the hardest part. I already knew that I was gay. I already knew since I was a kid. My whole family knew. So that wasn't, my family is very accepting. But in my back of my mind, I still was like, what if they hate me though? Which is so stupid of me to think, but that was a thought in my head. And so almost the whole year, freshman year, I was like freaking out. I didn't know what to do. And I was like falling like in love with this girl. But it was really just me finding myself, being okay with being who I want to be, and that it's okay. Then once I figured that out, it's been fine since. But then my sophomore year, I met someone and it was fine, but then she had some things that she needed to get through, and so I had to break it off. But then I was targeted the bad guy, so that did some things to my mind. But yeah, that was the hardest part was just like I said, coming out to myself. But then once I got over that, and my family did help me a lot. I talked to my older brother. He's only 4 years older than me, but I talked to him a lot about it. And my mom. They both helped me a lot. And my friend, my two best friends too. I can't forget about them. They dealt with a lot. And I want to say sorry. I have before, but yeah, I'm grateful for the people around me who helped me through that.
Definitely surrounding yourselves with people that or like will be with you through thick and thin. Trying to think, like with kind of going with high school, nothing really hit me until college. I was actually, I don't think either of y'all knew this. I got admitted into a psych hospital my sophomore year in college, just because I was finally confused. I guess, hit that identity crisis, trying to figure out who I was and not getting the right answers, not getting the right help. And I had a hard time communicating to people that I needed help. So it was a big wall I hit. So, but going back with high school, it was interesting. Just there's so much I feel like I missed in high school just because I was so focused in school, trying to get grades, trying to please everyone. I was a big people pleaser. So that was a lot of my time was spent on helping out and pleasing other people, trying to fit in. So doing it now, it's really all good. And then I've been single since I was 21, and then now I'm in relationships. We grooving.
Oh my God, Mario, how are you?
Like 96 today? No, I'm 30 today, and then tomorrow I'll be 17.
It's crazy because I think the very first time I met Mario, I was like, this dude gotta be like 18, right? And I was like, I don't know, Mario. It just you give me that. Hold on, that's spider. Hold on.
We interrupt this episode for a spider podcast.
Oh my God, hold on. Oh my God, hold on. Stop. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Okay, so there was something I wanted to say. So, finding yourself, it's crazy because everyone wants to come out, and which it's cool to do that. But I don't know if you know this, Sydney, but Chisholm, they are really huge on LGBTQ and everything. Like there's a whole sign like in front of their staircase, and it's like LGBTQ, like whatever. And I was like, oh my God.
I think this is like, you are welcome here.
It's crazy. And then because my friends would go there and then they were like, yeah, there's a whole clubs about it and everything. Versus my school, Saginaw, they'd be haters out there. They'd be hating, and I don't know why. Like, I think it's because people share it too much. Like, it's cool. Yeah, it's cool. You come out. It's cool. That's nice. Or like, you say you're in some type of club, an LGBTQ club or something. I don't know. But then there's a certain point to where like you be like, I don't know how to explain, like taking pride, like really, really good pride. Like you be wearing rainbows all day. You be like, you like have that sign LGBTQ. Like, I think that's too much. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's too much, but yeah, it's crazy.
Because like some of the kids would like walk around with like a flag, like around them. Which I mean, I'm not that person. I don't wear rainbow stuff. That's just not me. I'm just not like that. So, but I think that's great that people are like expressing themselves. I guess, like it does get overwhelming. I guess that's like kind of what it gets kind of what people are all, you know, wearing rainbow and the flag, and but that's if that's how they want to express themselves, then what's the difference between someone doing that than wearing like a hat, like a Trump hat or something like that? Like,
Yeah.
so I mean, I get what you're saying. I totally get it. But that's also you're saying, you know, your high school is right down the street from my school, or like 10 minutes away, and it's crazy to think like 10 minutes can show the difference, and that shows, I guess, who you surround yourself. It's like the same thing of earlier, your environment. So.
Wow.
I'm not sure how great. I forgot, like just in Texas, because I feel like in Texas there's a lot more things that happen over there than happen in California, and vice versa. Over here, there's a lot like similar with what you mentioned. There's so many people that are just that show their pride and are prideful, pun intended, about who they are, which is great that they are finding themselves. And like how you mentioned, Sydney, that people show they represent themselves differently. Like some of us, we like to go all out, show where how we are honestly is metaphorically speaking. And then there's others who are very reserved, though when you ask them questions, you can tell how passionate they are. In schools, it's becoming, I feel like, a bit too much. A lot of people are focusing, or schools are putting the wrong priority. Like, yes, they should be a safe zone. Yes, there should be a lot of things, though. There should be a focus. Students should learn more about subjects rather than, is this club going to be good or not, or how can we protect this club from other bullies? I don't know if that makes sense.
And you know, it's crazy about school. I mean, I don't know about you. I mean, I'm at the same school, but like things are getting higher, like the LGBTQ and like bullying, suicidal, it is getting aggressively higher. I don't know why. So like we have, you know, ID cards. So they haven't done this this is their first time doing this, but they have like a suicide hotline and like everything that you can like do on the back of your ID card.
They also have in the bathrooms too. There's posters in the bathrooms.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I
mean, it's great that schools do that because for a while schools didn't. So both sides, because like schools didn't really support any of that. They didn't have numbers that you can call. They didn't have people that you could talk to. So I get that sometimes it can be overwhelming, or it looks overwhelming because it's now everywhere now. We never saw it, but it's great that schools are paying attention. So especially where we live, you know, so like not everyone's accepting. So I think it's great that we're learning at least.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
Baby steps.
Because there's so much that schools need to work on, but at the same time, there's a lot that us as students, as individuals, need to learn as well. Like kind of going back to LGBT, that there was an issue with me, not about individuals that were part of the community, though just the community in general, that it's gotten so big that people are being forced to by law to agree to their terms, where there are other priorities such as the individual with special needs. If you look at a lot of school boards, they shift gears to an individual with a disability. I'm sorry, someone from the LGBT community, than helping out someone with a disability. I've noticed that a lot personally. Where I'm working at, though I'm not too sure if you guys seen that as well. Kind of shipping to like a totally different conversation.
I kind of think that we as, I don't know, America or just like anywhere, we kind of like focus on one thing at a time. We can't really we can't do multiple things at a time. So I think right now, Black Lives Matter, that's kind of what we're at, you know, or certain places, the LGBT, or, you know, so, but I think that we do that a lot as like a society. We focus on one thing, we can only focus on one thing, and then once that's like finished, we move on, but it's never really finished. We just keep repeating ourselves.
Like, so, when is it ever finished?
I totally get what you're saying. Like, it seems right now that we're really focusing on this, on, you know, what the LGBTQ plus community, and not focusing on other people. And I totally agree with that. But like I said, we like to focus on one thing and stay there. So, but yeah, I have seen that. And well, like people in the LGBTQ plus community, there is still a lot of not problems, but are issues with people accepting that community. So I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, even people, because I'm in that community, and people in that, even in that community, they seem so kind and loving, which they are. But
Mhm.
I guess in almost in every community, people are hateful to the people in their own community.
Mm.
That's also a problem. People might think that the LGBTQ plus community is so loving, which, like I said, we are, but not everyone's so nice. There's a lot of bad thoughts of other communities, like, bisexual people. A lot of people like who are a lesbian or gay, they don't agree with bisexuality. So
That's crazy
so
though.
in the inside the community, we also, not a lot of people are accepting of the people, which is kind of confusing. They say, "Oh, we love you, we support you," but then they're like, "But you're this," which I don't like. So, but I guess you could kind of say that about everyone. So there is stuff inside the community that we also need to work on. If that makes sense. Inside. Yeah.
Extremely. One of my friends and an adopted sister, they're both part of the LGBT community, and I always get nervous about bringing that up to them because I was really curious about it. That if it was just my perspective, because I'm very passionate about individuals with disabilities, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't just me, just my perspective. And they made the comment that I'm not wrong, and then that the community they also I guess discriminate. I'm not sure what the correct term is.
You don't say problem or issue, but that's kind of what it is. People, because I'm lesbian. That word's kind of to me. I don't really like it. Just the way it's used. But I used to say gay myself. But people always kind of come up to me and they're like, "Would you date a bi girl?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't care. Like if they like me, I don't care." But that's another thing. Like people who are gay or lesbian, they don't always accept bi women.
Yeah.
So they're like, "Oh, like same. They're like, oh, it's a phase. You don't really care. Oh, you're just using me. Like, oh, you're just using me to see if you like girls," which that's okay. To come up and tell me that. But yeah, it's crazy that people. I don't care how you identify. If you like me, that's great. That's all I have to know. I don't really care like how you identify. If you like me for me, then I'm okay with it.
It's crazy. My one of my not friends. What do I call them? One of the people that I know that are my friends. They were acquaintance. Yeah. Jeez, Mari, I love your vocabulary. One of my what is it called? Acquaintances. Yeah, that they were like not making fun of, like being rude because there's only like two genders, right? There's male and female, and then like she made a whole argument about it, and then I don't even know where it even went. But what you guys think about that?
Like that there's two genders is that the
or
question?
Multiple?
Ooh.
Because whenever I was listening to the argument, it goes honestly like both ways. That it's like one. It goes both ways because like, no, there's only two genders because that's what you were born with, and then there's like, no, there's more multiple genders because that's your body, type of thing. Like it's just crazy because I don't know. Yeah. And this was during school. Like it's crazy what you think about in school. Yeah.
You have a lot of range to think about stuff in school. So to answer your question, taking this risk very carefully as possible. Personally, for me, I believe that there are two genders. Whether you decide what gender you are, that's not my business. Though male and female, why are you going to give yourself a third gender just to be a special flower? Granted, like we all like to be that one individual that's unique. I get it. I like to be unique myself. Though we're making it complicated by saying there are more than one gender.
Well, I think that people should be comfortable with who they want to be. So if they don't identify non-binary, that's a person who doesn't identify as a male or female, which I think is okay. I mean, I get the whole there's only two men. I get it. I've been to church. I've talked to people. I'm a person who likes to know different point of views, and understand it and respect it. So But yeah, if someone is non-binary, I'm like, okay, are you happy? Are you comfortable? That's all I really care about. And do you respect me and I respect you? Then, but I get the whole argument. I get it. But I'm more a person that if you're being nice to everyone, and maybe if they're expecting you to, then if someone pronouns is they them, I'm gonna say they them. I'm not gonna treat you rudely just because you're different than me.
That is also another term too. It's crazy.
So I was raised to treat people with kindness, and so
yeah, there was a fight one day because one person was calling the other person a he, and it's like, no, I'm not a he, I'm her or it. I was like, what the? Dang crazy.
Yeah, I don't really like people are so rude to people who identify differently. I don't. It's one word. Just say it. It's not that hard. I mean, if you have questions, then talk about it nicely to them. I would might have people around me. I always say that if you have questions about the LGBTQ plus community, ask me, and I will tell you if I know it or not. And if I don't know it, I'll go research for you. I'll go research it for you, and then tell you what I find out about it. So, yeah, when things are fought over simple things, I don't get it. If that makes sense, I don't know. Like,
extreme. I feel like that's a big point too. That we, especially as the newer generation comes along, we forgot. We haven't learned how to have a simple discussion that becomes a small argument. Nowadays, when we think of an argument, we become very defensive and we start resting our case and trying to win someone over, whereas the conversation started off to understand someone's perspective. And that's a big thing. Is we should know, at least have the discipline to listen to someone else's perspective, because you learn a lot from someone else's perspective.
Yeah. Something from school that helped me with that was a club that I joined. It was Youth and Government Club, and that's one of the nerdiest things I've ever done in my life. So I loved it. I only did it for 1 year in person and then 1 year online because of COVID. But it was a lot of fun. So basically, Youth and Government, it's a YMCA club, so it's not connected with the schools. So it's big, it's huge. It's in like every state, I think, or most of the states. And I loved it. So it's like you're in court. There's a court one where there's like a judge and all these, and I did state affairs, which is kind of like a council meeting for a city, and you pick a topic and then you say how you would fix that topic, and then you go in front of other kids, about 20 or so of them, and then you say your ideas, and then they ask you questions, and then you answer the questions, and this is all timed, and then two people say pros about your ideas, and the other people say cons, and then you have about however minutes is left to say your conclusion, and then you get voted on that. At the end, people tell you how you did on a piece of paper, and then they turn it in. But doing that has really helped me. Like, I get defensive pretty easily because problems going up, and so that helped me learn. And my stepdad helped me a lot too when we're talking about something simple. Sometimes he'll just get on my nerves on purpose just to teach me how to not get so defensive, because I will kind of get defensive pretty fast. Not on purpose. My body just does that.
It's like a natural reaction.
Past things. So, but doing that in school really helped. That was my sophomore, junior year, and that really helped me. I got really close to my history teacher, and I joined a club because I needed club hours for NHS. I only joined it because I was like, oh, I need hours. I want this club will be easy, whatever. No, I loved it. I love researching, and that class really helped me with, like you were saying, being respectful of other people's ideas. And I always have my whole life, but taking that class and that club really helped me with like deeper ideas.
It's definitely a life skill that's good to have, or at least practice and be aware of. Nice. So looking at the time, we should be wrapping up. Great. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate having both of y'all on, being at a different time zone. It was fun to come up with the time. With that being said, do y'all have any final words, any final saying, seeing quotes, random shenanigans?
Thank you, Mariah, for reaching out.
Yes, thank you.
You're so awesome. I know this man is gonna be something good in the future. So don't forget about me. Send me $2K when you become rich.
Maybe I'll think about it. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining. If you like the video, leave a comment.
Oh, follow me on Instagram, LilaV._official.
Just gonna bleep out that
And
last
single.
part.
Yeah, just leave it out.
You're
And
gonna bleep that
single.
last
Oh,
part.
Mario,
It's like
don't do that
follow
to
me. It's like follow me, yeah, and it's gonna be like a totally random account.
No, don't do that to me.
That's hilarious. Nah, you're good.
Thank you, Mario.
Let's see what I can do. Anyways, see you guys next time. Stay safe.
Bye. You too.